So Half-Life Alyx is going to be released soon on the 23rd of March, and everybody is kind of raving about it, really, aren't they? I mean, in fact, I think the VR content, no one really wants any other news right now. And I've watched probably, I've tried not to watch, should I say, any of the videos of it. And it's worked for the majority part that, you know, sometimes I'm watching other streamers and they will, you know, show clips of it, and then I'll get some of those videos accidentally seen, and I don't want to kind of spoil it, because if anything, I kind of think that Half-Life Alyx is going to be more of a story-driven game. I've never played any of the other Half-Lives. I kind of missed, there's moments in my life where I would stop gaming and I'll be just partying all the time or something when I was younger, and Half-Life kind of missed that train, and then I was console gaming more than ever, and other things in life, you know. So generally it's, yeah, I kind of missed the train, and I tried to play some of the older stuff, and you know how diluted something can be. Some people are like retro gamers and they like love playing the older stuff. Me, it kind of gets diluted. For instance, like an example, Final Fantasy VII is one of my favorite all-time games. But if I went to go and play Final Fantasy VII now, I'd be like, oh, clunky controls, the graphics are actually shite, when I was amazed by them when I first watched it. The story is a bit kind of cheesy, or something like that. Like The Devil May Cry, the first one was amazing. It was a really cheesy story. I loved that cheese. If I went back to it right now, it's kind of clunky. I have actually did go back to it, and it did feel that way. It felt that way. And I don't want to go back to the old Half-Lives, because I kind of feel that same way. So, you know, this is the first Half-Life for me, and it's going to be done in VR, which is obviously fantastic, because if you played it with a keyboard and mouse, it probably just wouldn't feel special. I think being in Half-Life Alyx will be more immersive and more pleasurable than I can actually imagine. And I think that with you know, the hand finger movement as well, I've got the index, so I'm going to be using full finger tracking, and everything else, I think, you know, it's just going to make it even more immersive. Now, questions about Half-Life Alyx is the story going to be good? Is the locomotion going to be good? Is the finger tracking and physics of the game going to be good? They have a really big team. I can't imagine it not being good. But those are the sort of things that I can't wait to plunge in and try. Now, I've played The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners recently, obviously, and I made quite a lot of videos on those, and I absolutely adore that game. I think that game's amazing. I don't care about its little nitbits, because it just blew me away on how fantastic it felt to, you know, be in a zombie apocalypse. So I generally want to feel that good again, and Half-Life Alyx could be that game. And from the little bits of gameplay I saw, the story does look like it's constantly there, which is fantastic. So it's constantly taking you along this ride of going through the story constantly, and I'm getting some stairs. that's fantastic, I think. And then to see things you can pick up and throw aside, and you can literally just pick up anything. Hopefully you can pick up anything, knock anything over, you know, a bit like Boneworks kind of does, without the thingy. So I'm at the rec right now, and recreational area it's called. Not very much of a recreational area. I mean, it does have a basketball court, it does have a skateboard ramp, but it does have usual thugs, which I'm hoping we can chat to, because that'll be hilarious. And ask them about Half-Life Alyx. Now this is, I'm going towards the pot smoking corner, as the police know it as. It's even cordoned off for some reason. That's weird. There's no one here, so that sucks. But yeah, am I looking forward to it? I'm trying to constantly get off the hype train, you know? I'm trying to get off the hype train. I get on the hype train. When I watched the trailer, I watched it, I don't know, crazy amount of times, just as much as anyone else that's majorly into VR. And I thought, this is looking amazing. This is really looking amazing. And suddenly I felt that I just inadvertently stepped onto the hype train, and it's now traveling at hyper speeds, and I wouldn't get off. And I did get off, because, you know, it went quiet for a while. People kept talking about it, but, you know, there was no more content. And then we're edging nearer, and the hype train's back again. And it's got to be said that I kind of feel that I just want to step aside from it, you know, and not get onto that hype train. Because one, you could feel disappointed if it is disappointing in any way at all. Two, it will dilute the game a little as well, because you're going to probably expect this to be God tier, and it might not be God tier. It might be very, very good. It might be the best game in VR, but it's not the amazing game that we would expect. And I kind of feel I don't want to be on that train right there. I want to have a look at it like without biased opinions or eyes. I want to, if there's something that's not great, I want to be able to see it and say something about it. The thing is it's if I look a little bit kind of like really worn at the moment, it's because hay fever, allergies are kicking in. My wife bought a plant, and it's only until she started getting affected that she took the plant out of the house, even though I kept saying that plant is killing me. She was like, good, we'll just put it nearer to you. You know, she loves me really, but she's just not very understanding sometimes. Like, I don't know, it was lethal. Oh, I think that's killing everybody in the house. I don't know how. But yeah, basically, there's quite a lot of people here today. Very windy. So, well, it's not enough. In the summer, it's packed, but especially if the festival's here. I mean, you can move. Festivals here. There is a festival that we have on here. So yeah, I want to look at it biased, but when I went into Walking Dead, I wanted to do the same thing, and I did to start with, but then I started getting more into The Walking Dead, and before I knew it, I was just constantly praising it, and I was constantly praising it and ignoring. In fact, I was one of the people that didn't really give a shit about the crouching. I just didn't care about the crouching because the other parts of the game were just so immersive and so fantastic that I just you know, loved it. It's like people around this wreck have never ever seen somebody do something like this before. It's like, what the fuck to them, you know? Really weird. So actually the walk we're just doing right now is actually my dog walk, one of them anyway. So I like to mix it up because poor dogs shouldn't have to go the same route all the time. But anyway, Half-Life Alyx, as funny as that is, and I don't know why this thing keeps turning off. I'm a bit worried that I'm just recording for nothing. Half-Life Alyx is just not many people going to know about it, and I'm wondering if I should do a video. And this is a new idea for another videos, because I've constantly come out with these ideas. Like, quick news is stopping because it doesn't get much traction unless I make it even quicker, and I think that would get traction. So sort of like, you know, Half-Life Alyx 23rd, you know, and then move on or something, you know, make it a bit crazier. But what about going out live blogging and pissing people off like those paranoid, probably chavs that we just spoke to? Well, they're not chavs realistically. Well, I don't know what they are. I don't really know them that much. I always walk past them and they always mutter something like, "Don't look at me," you know, "What are you looking at?" you know, to themselves very quietly. So I don't know really much about them. And you know, we could go up to people like that and just say, "Look, you know, Half-Life Alyx, you getting it?" I'd be like, just like those guys were, what's Half-Life Alyx? And I'd be like, well, I'm not surprised if you've gone, Half-Life Alyx is a computer game, blah, 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 and sort of like try to educate some people, maybe, I don't know, maybe wind some people up as well, I don't know, or, you know, try to get reactions really from people. I mean, there's going to be, I have met people before talking about Beat Saber. Let's like angle this so it doesn't pick up people behind me, because I don't have consent forms with me, and I would consent, and I don't want to spend all day blurring out images of people. But yeah, generally, Half-Life Alyx, geez, that's the rave right now. That's the rave, that's the train. That's the train a lot of people are on, and it's really, you know, Half-Life Alyx is so big, is if you've got a game coming out now in VR, it's just no one knows about it. Even VR people you could go up to right now and say, "Have you heard of this game?" And some people be like, nah, I've not heard that game. I'd be like, "Well, you're into VR, right?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, I play VR game, I play every VR game I can get my hands on." They'd be like, "Well, what about this game?" They'll be like, "Well, I don't know." It's because it's all about Half-Life right now. And to be completely sure, if you're not into Half-Life right now yourself, then well done, well done. Anyway, it's my quick vlog.